If you want to go from where you are to the life you dream of fast, today I'm going to share with you the blueprint on how to do that. Manifestation is not magic. It is mechanics. So today I'm going to share with you how to manifest easy, but really this is about creating a quantum leap. This is where I'm going to bring in quantum physics. Quantum physics teaches us that all potentials already exist. This is not about you creating anything, but I'm going to teach you the energetics behind manifestation so you can have whatever you want. Again, remember, not magic, it is mechanics. So let's bring in the idea of quantum physics because I want you to understand the quantum field and how manifestation works, and then your part so you know how to interact with the field to manifest the health, the wealth, the lover, the success, whatever it is you desire. Here's how I like to think about the quantum field. Quantum physics teaches us all potentials already exist at the source. The quantum field is what they refer to it. So here's where I'm going to draw on every desire you can imagine. The money, the car, the experience, the travel, the home, the lover, the health, whatever it is that you want. I like to think of it as a big Excel spreadsheet because Excel goes on for infinity, just like the quantum field has infinite possibilities. Your job, how do you connect? Now again, I'm bringing in Excel. How do you connect any 2 points? It's the two axes, right? The X and Y axis. So in our reality, what that means is your mental, emotional states. So on this side, I'm going to write your mental, and down here, I'm going to write your emotional. So when your mental, emotional states align, you then match frequencies, and this is where I really want to bring in the energetics of quantum physics. You then match the frequency of your desire, and that's all manifestation is. It is collapsing the wave of potential, the frequency, into matter. It's making the intangible tangible. So the fact that you can even desire it, I want you to imagine it like this. A future version of you is giving you the desire, the nudge, a preview of life's coming attraction so that you can become the version of you that has the thing. And the fact that you can desire anything means it's already possible here in the field. And now I want to help you go through the process and give you the blueprint, how you make the intangible tangible. And this is known as a quantum leap. What seems often or sudden, quote, overnight transformations. Because individuals who are experiencing what looks like an overnight transformation just understand the energetics behind reality creation, and by the end of this video, so will you. Now, I also want to explain here, I touched on the idea of the energetics. We live in an energetic universe. Everything is energy, frequency, and vibration. There's actually a Hermetic principle that talks about this, the law of vibration. Everything is vibrating depending on its frequency, its level of density, how fast or how slow it's going. So even though I look solid, even though your phone or computer looks solid, everything is vibrating, and in fact, 99.99% empty space, which means we are only perceiving less than 1% of reality. Now, knowing everything has its own frequency and vibration, I want you to think of it like a radio station. And here's where your job comes in. If everything is vibrating at its own frequency, and depending on the density, how fast or how slow it's going, I want you to think of you as a radio. In order to listen to a specific radio station, because think about it, right now in this moment, all radio stations are always playing, but how do you listen? How do you listen to a specific radio station? You have to tune to it by changing the dial. Well, same thing with you. You have to change your internal state, your internal frequency, which is like your dial, in order to match the frequency. So your role in manifestation, 2 things. It's the what do you want? And you have to be specific. And the who, which is your role. Here's what is not your job. And what a lot of people try to control and strangle and tight grip their way through creating reality. Not your job is how and when. Here's what trips you up. The reason why the how and the when are not your job. You trying to make something happen can only come from a very limited experience based on your past experiences, how you did something, or potentially how somebody else did something, which is one way to do it. But if there are infinite possibilities, then there are infinite ways. And guess what? The universe, God, source energy, the quantum field knows the fastest, easiest way to get from where you are to experiencing what you want. So let go of the how, let go of the control, let life surprise you. So I live my life in excited anticipation. I know it's coming, but like how and when, there is a time delay. There's a time delay between where you are and tuning your internal frequency and matching this. But when you can maintain and sustain, the time delay, how long it takes, is how long it takes you to match that frequency. Now, wherever you're out on your manifestation journey and reality creation, if you want to learn how to apply these principles and fast track where you are to living the life that you desire, I provide one-on-one coaching. I will include a link below. You can also apply directly on my website, heatherhakes.com. I help my clients fast track in an 8-week coaching program how to get the health you want, the next level in business, the financial abundance, the lover, whatever it is that you want. You have to understand the energetics and your subconscious mind, which is what trips most people up. Again, I invite you to apply for coaching, heatherhakes.com. Okay, so let's get back into this idea of the mechanics behind manifestation. You understand that your role is the what and the who. Now, I want you to get clear and specific, because a lot of times, if you say I want to lose weight, well, like a pound, an ounce, how much do you want to lose? Or what size pant do you want to fit in? If it's a dollar amount, what is that dollar amount? What does that lifestyle look like? If it's a lover, like what is that relationship like? You have to get crystal clear and be specific. Now let's get into the most important part. Now that you have a clear aim, you know what? Step number 1, you have to know what you want. This universe that we live in, it's a friendly universe. The quantum field will give you whatever you want. Remember, it's an energetic, it's a frequency match game. That's all this is. So now let's get into step number 2, who? Who do you have to become in order to experience your desires? So this is where I want to bring in the idea of the be, do, have principle, because identity is everything. Who you are being is way more important than the actions you are taking. So for example, you might have an amazing business plan or an amazing strategy, the what. But if you are full of self-doubt, feeling unworthy, not enough, it creates a lot of internal resistance. And our Western culture has programmed us into hustle and grind. I have to try harder and work harder in effort to get what I want. There is a doing part of it. You do have to take action, and strategy is important. But even more important, let's get into it. Who you are being. So now I want to talk about this, the be, do, have principle. So in this idea of creating a quantum leap, what seems like an often sudden, overnight transformation in your health, in your finances, being perpetually single, and now you met the one. How do you collapse the time? How do you get what you want faster? Let's get into who you are being. So this is the identity piece of it, and this is really what I break down for my clients. Who you are being. And your identity is made up of 3 things: your thoughts, your emotions, and your habits. So as I said, you might want money, but if you feel unworthy, then you don't match the frequency because you have a misalignment, you have a disconnection with your mental, emotional states. So when we get into that, if you have a misalignment, that's why you don't get what you want, or you unconsciously self-sabotage, 2 steps forward, 2 steps back. And I want to help you stop doing that so you can have whatever you want. Like once you understand the mechanics behind this, whether it's $1, $100 grand, $1 million, a home, whatever the experience is, whatever the condition, whatever the potential is, does not matter. There is one formula and one way to do it. So you have to have the mental, emotional alignment. These have to be what's called in science coherent. So when you are thinking and feeling in alignment with already having what you want, you are then taking aligned action. So these are the three pieces. These must be in alignment first, your thoughts and emotional state, thinking and feeling. And this is not fake it till you make it, but you do have to be delusional at first, because you have to, it's like brainwashing yourself into being that version of you. So you might be broke, but there is a potential version of you who has $1 million. So it might be a state of delusion at first, but this is about brainwashing and priming yourself to be that $1 million version of you now, so that the opportunities and synchronicities and the business idea and whatever it is you need then come into your field. You literally become a magnet. So once you have the mental, emotional states in alignment, they are coherent, then you take action, then you start doing. So being is number one, action's number two. And here's what trips most people up. You might understand this process, but we want instant gratification, right? We're so used to Amazon Prime delivery, same day, next day, 2-day. We're so used to having things we want instantly that if you don't see $1 million in your bank account tomorrow, you'll give up. Doubt starts to creep in. Again, now you have a weak signal, a weak frequency, and you're not matching your desire. So your job is, once you get clear on the what, and you understand who you need to be, that version of you that has the condition, the lover, the money, the health, the success, and you are taking aligned actions, you have to maintain and sustain this state of being with, I'm going to emphasize these two, with certainty and conviction. You know in your bones that whatever you desire is already yours, because when you can maintain and sustain the mental emotional alignment throughout your day, when doubt's not creeping in, when fear's not creeping in, when impatience or insecurity or not feeling enough, when those fall away, and you maintain a mental and emotional state, and you continue taking aligned actions, and you consistently show up as this version of you, that is how you collapse time. And you do that having the mentality of certainty and conviction. You know it's yours. Now look, any successful person, any GOAT in sports knows this. Noah Lyles, I watched the documentary Sprint on Netflix, and he is a prime example of how to do this. He believed he was an Olympic gold medalist before he ever went to the Olympics. He had certainty and conviction. He was the fastest runner in the world. So he got clear on what he wanted. Gold medalist, fastest runner in the world. Who did he need to become? He had to have certainty and conviction, and then show up to all of his practices, mentally rehearsing and feeling it and maintaining that frequency, taking action, running it, and becoming that gold medalist before he ever got to the Olympics. And that is how he collapsed that potential into his reality, by who he was being, by the actions he was taking, and ultimately he got what he wanted. Now I'd love to hear from you. What questions do you have around this? Because this really is a plug and play blueprint. Whatever you want does not matter. These are the first two principles you have to do in order to get that. Please drop whatever questions you have below. Now I want you to put this into play. I've given you the blueprint on how to quantum leap wherever you're at to manifest your desires fast. And I want to hear what comes your way. Thanks for watching today's video. Make sure to subscribe to my channel so you're the first to know when new videos drop. And give me a thumbs up. I'll catch you on the next one.